y'all. Welcome to my review for the final episode of My Hero Academia, at least officially. We still obviously got 431 as an OVA. We know it's coming in some form or fashion because it was on in the background of the it was in the background of a shot for the AHK documentary. We know it's coming. I was kind of surprised when this episode had aired and I had finished watching it that there was like no mention, there was no like lead-in, no teasers, no nothing to 431. I thought there would have been like to be continued in 431 OVA or like something, but no. I'm assuming they're saving all that for Jump Fest to announce 431 OVA, possibly another movie alongside it, because we know we're not, because well, yes, the anime is officially over. We know it ain't done yet, man. We at least got probably, I would wager, 2 movies at the very least we will be getting in the foreseeable future. An adults movie, which I think they'll take place after 431, possibly be surrounded or built around Yuzu Ocha, and we see their relationship develop. That's possible. But then again, they could always mix it with the other one. And for a fact, we're getting a Vigilantes crossover film, more than likely set in America. It is only a matter of time. Probably once the Vigilantes anime finally wraps up, they will then announce a Vigilantes crossover film with the main series. We'll finally get to see Izuku and Koichi interact one with one another. They're already setting up, man. If you guys have seen Daiki's post recently on Twitter, and I think it was like Kyoto Comic-Con, it was some Comic-Con in Japan, both Daiki and Koichi Seiyus were there. They were together, did a panel together or whatever. They were doing something on stage together regarding Hero Aka, man. So they've already started planting the seeds for this crossover, man. We know it's gonna happen. Like I said, they could mix that with the possible Yuzu Ocha film, or just a film with them being adults. That is very plausible. So we'll have to wait and see. But we're not. So yeah, we got 431 in the pipe. They might announce that it's the movie. 431 is a movie. I doubt it, but that would be kind of insane if they announced 431 as a movie, as a full-blown film. That would be nuts. So yeah, you got that. Like I said, we're gonna get a Vigilantes movie at some sooner rather than later. Probably once Vigilantes anime wraps up at that Jump Fest, they'll announce a new movie, or right afterwards they'll announce a movie they'll announce the Vigilantes crossover film. Anyway, guys, so yeah, it's bittersweet, obviously, that this is the last episode. Apparently the dub for the episode's already recorded as well. Like, if you guys follow Chris Wattkamp on Twitter, he tweeted out that he had finished recording the final episode. Mind you, that was like yesterday. So like he finished recording the episode before the episode had even aired in Japan, which makes me kind of question, seeing they're recording episodes before they even air in Japan, like the new mod, like the stuff that's just released. It makes me wonder why this wasn't a same-day simulcast, and so they clearly have the materials for it. They have the audio files. They have everything they need to record the episode in advance. I'm confused why there wasn't a same-day simulcast like the earlier season 1 and Vigilantes. Bit bizarre, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, man. But yeah, it's obviously bittersweet. You guys know that this is a series that I have been reviewing since almost as long as I've been doing anime reviews. Once I made the switch from my channel to be a gaming channel to an anime channel to now whatever this is now. You guys remember that I started off reviewing season 2 on my PlayStation Gold headset, where you could not understand a fucking word I was saying. The mic quality was fucking atrocious, man. And I have reviewed and grown with this series ever since, man. And not only that, we got Saturday night's main event tonight. It's where John Cena retires. And literally, the two of the pillars of my youth are ending tonight, man. 2 massive pillars of my youth, man, are right today. It's a fucking day, ain't it, man? But yeah, man, obviously you guys know how much I love this series, how special it is to me, man. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I'm writing a fan fiction of Hero Aka. That's a Marvel crossover, man. If I remember, I'll leave a link to it down below in the description box. If you guys want to give it a read, man, I've been doing this stuff since season 4. I've been working on it, man. There's I think 30 odd chapters now. I think there might be in the 40s. I'm not sure. There's a lot of chapters. So if you guys want to go read that, go ahead. It's a Hero Aka Marvel crossover with the East Rail 117 trilogy, because you guys know how much I love those movies. You guys watch them. If you guys see my movies, you guys know how much I fucks with M. Night Shyamalan and how much I fucks with those films. But yeah, man, it's a hell of a day, man. So yeah, like no series has captured my imagination like Hero Aka has. Like I said, I'm writing Hero Aka fan fiction, and I don't write fan fiction. I barely even started reading until like 2017 when I started getting into anime. It's when I started reading, and I really didn't have much inklings of wanting to write it myself until Hero Aka. And you guys know, and you guys may remember my videos. I would often talk about like Marvel crossover, like like you guys remember in one episode review for season 4, I went on this whole spiel about Eri being a Mutant and how they would work that out with Class A if this with UA if this was actually set in the Marvel Universe and everything, man. So yeah, like no show's captured my imagination like Hero Walk has. This show means the world to me, man. Even though it's not my favorite, it's probably the show that I probably feel the most attachment to. From the shows I've watched, man, this show just means the world to me. Obviously, you guys know I love Horikoshi-sensei, and like, whatever his next manga is, whether it's a sequel series to Hero Walker, or he's gone and fuck off and do something else like a horror manga, or something else entirely, I will be there for it, man. I will be there day one for it. And yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm sad. 430, but we still got 431 coming out soon, which is very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to that, because we know it's coming. And yeah, man. This is definitely, I mentioned a lot of this already in my reaction to the episode, man, but yeah, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet that the series is ended, that the series is now officially ended now, minus 431, which we know it's coming, but the main series is what was shown off in Weekly Show and Jump, and like I said, 431's kind of an epilogue, but still very much canon. It's over, man. The ride is over. Its final season has finally finished airing, man. And yeah, obviously we still got Vigilantes airing for a few more years, man. We obviously, of course, got some movies coming along that we're going to get sooner rather than later. But yeah, Hero Walker is officially over, man. And yeah, bittersweet, man. Like I said, why does this guy air the same week as John Cena's retirement match, man? Like that, like one, I hate that we have 3 pay-per-views in a row because I got to worry about my reviews and getting this done before I can actually watch the pay-per-vieiew. But also just the fact that it's like the two things that shaped me the most in my youth: Hero Walker and pro wrestling, and John Cena to a certain, and by extension John Cena, who's always been my favorite wrestler. Just both end up, you know, retiring or ending on the same day, man. It's insane. But yeah, I've rambled on long enough, guys, man. Obviously, with 431 being a separate OVA, this does lead, like, you guys know I mentioned in previous videos, I think I said since Season 8 started, I wanted 431 to be its own episode, man. If it was going to become out 438, cool, whatever. But I thought, just for my own personal reason, just how big and how important and, you know, incredible that chapter is, at least from the bits I see, because I never read the whole thing. I just read, like, the last few pages where it was confirmed, where Izocha was confirmed. So I don't like most of the other volume. So most of the other chapter I haven't seen. I probably have seen most of it through individual panels, but not like the full context of everything going on. But yeah, with how important that chapter is, how magical it was, of course, the significance of it for me, Izocha being canon, and that you guys remember the leaks dropped on my birthday. So I wanted it to be its own episode, but the fact that we know it's going to be a separate OVA, I am a bit disappointed by that it's not part of the main series, as episode 12 or whatever, because we're kind of back in the same boat as we were with the manga. You guys remember when this aired in the manga, when this dropped, you had Bakunin like, oh, it's not canon, it's an epilogue, it's not part of the series, it's not canon, because it was an epilogue, and like, they would always twist Horikoshi's word into something he never said, man, be like, oh, the cares of that means it's not canon. You know, and now it's being an OVA. They're like, it's not canon, the OVAs aren't canon, it's not canon. We're back on the same boat, man, which is unfortunate. But hey, whatever, man, it's going to be incredible. Hopefully Haruka Ina's directing it, man. She actually did get to work on this episode, which was pretty cool to see. But yeah, hopefully we get to see Haruka direct that episode, man. I'm still holding out hope for that, please. I want her to direct something, man. She has earned the right for those OPs and EDs she did, man. She has earned the right to direct an episode, man. So hopefully she gets to direct 431 whenever that comes out, man, which I had to guess probably in January. I probably guess it'll probably come out right after, a little bit after Jump Fest when they finally announce a thing. But we shall see, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, guys, let's just jump right into the actual episode. So we start the episode off with this amazing shot of, I love this POV shot. You guys know I'm a sucker for this, which I'm pretty sure this was all CG, like the backgrounds, everything, of this kid walking out of this alleyway asking, why me? Why just me? As we intercut with Hawks and All Might, which I know there was an anime that confirmed this guy. I think it might have been Rei Hisoka. I'm not entirely sure if it was her or not, or it might have been a different anime. I'll have to go back and check Twitter if it was her or another anime that confirmed that this was their part of the episode they did with Hawks and All Might. But anyway, this kid comes out of there, man. This kid comes out, like I say, he's like rocking like this scarecrow-looking getup, man, like he was stuck to a straitjacket or something. Where Hawks mentions that he wants to that they're going to, or rather, All Might mentioned about expanding the hero billboards, saying that Hawks mentioned that only once a reconstructionist, once the reconstruction is far along, they want to include because there's a lot of people that helped out with this. They want to include everyday heroes as well alongside with the registered pros. All Might mentioned they thought that they were going to get rid of it after everything, and also, by the way, There's a spelling error in the subtitles, man. Lamau, Crunchyroll once again, common Crunchyroll L, man. First you had an episode where there were just subtitles just straight up missing for part. Now we got spelling errors. Seriously, Crunchyroll, go back to your old system, bro. What the fuck is this shit? This is the final episode of one of your biggest shows of the decade, and this is how you set it up with spelling errors? To be fair, this is the only one, but anyway, they spelled if with 2 F's, which I thought was funny, man, but regardless, I just had to point that out, man. I just had to point that out. Anyway, Hawks mentions he's eating some like shish kebabs or whatever, saying that if we only focus on it, that would make sense if we only focus on the negative part, but he'd like to update while retaining the positive aspects of it. There's a limit to how much of any greatness hero can handle. It's going to require more than what us pros can deliver. So a world where there's a lot of great heroes. And then we come back to the kid. Now, from my understanding, and this is just from stuff I heard when this chapter dropped in the manga, this kid and Dai, the kid we follow in the later half of the episode, that if you look familiar, yes, he was the same kid that we saw back in season 4 when he was a little kid. That's the same kid. That him and Dai are the same person. I could be wrong on that because they seem to have completely different quirks. Like this kid can seemingly shoot out some sort of purple mist out seemingly that's connected to his mouth in some form or fashion, but also seems to come out of his fingers as well. We don't really know how this kid's quirk works, and Dai seemingly his quirk ability is like he can it's related to his hair where he can take out these UFO style projectiles out that he can step on or whatever. So I'm not entirely sure if these are the same person. I remember seeing a lot of tweets saying that this was in fact the same kid. That this kid and Dai are the same person, but after watching the episode, I'm not entirely sure if that's actually the case, but if any of you guys know for certain, leave it down in the comments if this is in fact the same kid as Dai. But yeah. Anyway, we see his mouth was stitched up. We see some of the stitching coming out of his mouth that we see on his cheek, man. We get some backstory where it seems where we see the purple mist around it after it starts melting seemingly or destructing everything or destructing the thing it touches, man. And you got I'm assuming it's the head of the family or something along those lines saying oh, what's going on with this quirk? If the association finds about this, it'll damage our family seating. Get rid of them. Leave no trace. They're straight. First of all, man, can we talk about the absurdity of this situation? You have this old ass dude who is who I'm assuming is some sort of rich and powerful person, maybe a CEO or some person that has a lot of has a reputation to uphold that I'm assuming is rich or part of some noble family or something along those lines. He maybe owns a popular business or something, man. Something along those kind of lines, man. Probably. He is straight up advocating because this kid's quirks that seemingly can melt stuff or disintegrate objects if it gets a hold of his myth to murder this kid. This kid hardly looks like he's barely what? 10? Can we... The absurdity of the situation. It'd be one thing if they said, oh, hide him, make sure they kicked him out of the house. The fact he was advocating for murder is insane, man. Like I said, if it'd be one thing if he said, hide him in the base, which they do anyway, or they kicked him out, or they kicked his ass to the curb, something like that, okay, that's one thing, but to straight advocate for the murder of a child just because his court is advocating is absurd, man. That is ridiculous. What kind of fucking psychopath do you have to be to not immediately knows how crazy you sound? With that, but anyway, like I said, this kid's quirk activates, man. It seemingly is disintegrating anything it touches, man. Like I said, we never learned truly how this kid's quirk works. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure if this kid is Dai, if they're one and the same, or these are two different people. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, but yeah, sorry, and I'm pretty sure this was done on purpose because I remember when this has happened in the manga. When this first happened, people were suspecting oh, this is a new villain. This is going to lead into a sequel series where there's going to be a new villain that's going to be the new big bad of the series, man, and it's going to be this kid. And I remember like people mentioning that when these chapters had dropped because I would see stuff in the grapevine. And obviously, if you guys pay attention, there's a lot of similarities or callbacks to Shigaraki. One, obviously being part of a rich family, quirk activating out of nowhere, man, it's destroying everything it touches, man, like seemingly silver destruction quirks, man. You can see a dog's bowl and collar amongst the things that are sinking into this purple mist, man. The similarities, the callbacks, or the parallels, I should say, with Shigaraki are very obvious, man, which I'm sure was very much done on purpose by Horikoshi-sensei. But yeah, like I said, he says get rid of him, leave no trace. But he has, and then like one person that actually has a fucking functioning brain says, but he hasn't done anything wrong. And he says, if you can't do the deed, then pretend he's dead. Hide him where no one can see him. Keep him concealed. Keep his mouth shut. No one out there must hear us. Must hear even a single sigh. As you see, they locked him in the basement, probably behind some jail cell. Put him in a straitjacket, like I said, sewed his mouth shut. We see the house before and after. I'm assuming this house was like fine before, and then of course got destroyed or heavily damaged during the war while he was stuck in the basement. And now he's finally coming out of said basement, and he's not just like aimlessly wandering around, and what's so bad about him, etc., etc., etc. Why are these people smiling? Like I said, this is all like it's meant to give you the thought that, oh, the next villain is gonna arrive, and like this is the next Shigaraki for a sequel series or whatever, man. Like the job ain't done yet. But then we see the grandma that once saw Shigaraki back in season 5 that ended up being like, oh, I'm sure a hero or a policeman will find you. Finally, grows some balls and some accountability, grabs his hand and asks him, are you okay? And obviously we get a flashback confirming that yes, this is the same old woman. She mentions how she still keeps her up at night sometimes. If she had reached out, would that have stopped? Would that have saved him? We cut back once again to Hawks and All Might saying what Izuku Midoriya brought about that day. I'm sure that day it's getting to us all. She then grabs his hand and says everything is going to be alright. A single tear drops. The kids start crying. Then a single tear drops, and the color returns to the screen, which I thought was a nice touch, man. I thought that was a nice artistic choice, man. And the kids now find man. Izuku and Uraraka find the kid. They smile, and then we kind of cut over to the OP. Now, one thing I was a little disappointed with this episode, and I forget if this would have been in the previous episode or this episode, but the part where the green tea gets chartered in, man, it was unfortunately cut from the episode, which obviously, like, a lot of people were like, oh, they're shipping green tea, because, that's the ship, the Japanese ship name for Izuocha in the Japanese, for the Japanese family, at least that's what the kanji spells out, or something along those lines, man. But yeah, that was kind of when I was like, oh, this green tea, they're shipped together, man. A lot of people were pointing that out. And unfortunately, that was cut from the episode, unfortunately. Like, it's a very small scene, but it would have been nice to have seen it here as well. I think it was around here in the manga, but I might be wrong. It might have actually been adapted in the previous episode. I'm not entirely sure, but I was kind of sad to see that scene was in fact cut from the episode. Anyway, after that, we get a flashback to season 1 where the episode's begun. I like the little film reel countdown thing it does. I thought it was a nice touch. Where we see Izuku when the episode first started, where he's like defending this kid against Bakugo when he was a kid. I'm pretty sure the first time I've ever seen this episode subbed, because you guys know I watch Hirowaka dubbed, so I'm pretty sure this is the first time I actually watched this subbed, which was kind of interesting to listen to. We then get some narration from Izuku saying that people are not inherently equal. This is when we cut over to 8 years later, and we see Kota is now in high school, man, though I swear that I might be misremembering stuff, but I was kind of surprised at that both we see Kota in UA and we see Eri in middle school here, because I swear that when the volume had dropped, the file volume dropped there, somewhere in the volume extras, like an afternote or some authors or Horikoshi mentioned there was a continuity error, one character wasn't as old as they were supposed to be, or someone was older than they were supposed to be, and one of them were not supposed to be in UA. I forget, it was Kota wasn't supposed to be in UA actually, or it was someone with Eri. I can't remember exactly what it was, but Kota and Eri are still in the exact places that we saw them in the manga as well, but I could be misremembering something. But anyway, we then see high school age Kota obviously as a new Seiyu. I'm assuming, I don't know if it's the same Seiyu and then she just deepened her voice, but I assume they changed Seiyus, and I'm curious if that's going to happen with the dub, or Cassandra's still going to be voicing it when this episode drops. But anyway, he gets inside the teachers area to meet him with Izuku. First he says Mr. Midoriya, or Midoriya in the chat, and then he slaps himself for some reason, then says Deku-san. I don't know why bro got slapped. I'm like, bro, you don't need to be slapping yourself, bro. I don't know why you need to be slapping yourself. Anyway, he asks where they should be gathered for the afternoon practical exam. Izuku tells him to go in front of the bus stop, and we'll also show you the way, and he'll also show him the way to USJ. We then get this montage that Izuku mentions that he heard all the voices of encouragement that kept him going that day. If caring a lot about someone is a step towards being a hero, then everyone was the greatest hero that day. As we see a montage on the other hand, we see Izuku returning home to Inko, taking his shoes off. We see All Might chilling in an old folks' home, I think. I'm not entirely sure where he's at, but he's like seemingly in some sort of old folks' home, just chilling with Recovery Girl. I think he's okay. Now I'm looking at. I'm pretty sure he's with Gran Torino as he's during his recovery after almost dying from Shigaraki, or realistically he should have died from Shigaraki. So I don't know. So if I'm looking at the shot a little bit closer, I'm pretty sure that's meant to be Gran Torino. Right there. But anyway, we see a Mount Lady doing some things. We also get this shot. We also get this great cut of Mirko, which actually does have an animator credited on it. Let me look it up real quick. Takashi Morita is the animator, presumably credited for this cut of the episode. We also get to see once again we also get to see Endeavor and Ray once again visiting Toya, and then easily the cutest one where we see Eri and Koda going to school together. Man, it's so fucking cute. That's Koda out reaching out his hand towards Eri. Her horn is still chopped off, and they like grab hands together and they go to school together. While Melissa, I think as her name was, and I forget the other chick, the one that got her powers taken from by All For One, man. I forget her name, man. I forget her name, but they're both celebrating this. But it's a really cute moment. It's really cute. We also see Aizawa and President Mike visiting Shirakumo's grave, and then we get this last bit where President Mike tells to study hard, but to not get behind by the international competition. What is this international competition? I don't know. Is this I'm genuinely curious what this is, because I feel like you could make a movie out of this. I don't know if it's literally maybe they put hero classes up against each other and for a tournament whoever gets the most wins, or if it's more like a testing with other schools and who gets the highest grade. I'm not sure. What is this international competition? Because it sounds interesting, man. This sounds interesting. We also see them all running uphill. I think towards UA. Or running uphill towards UA during the fall, being about the full hero license exam thing, and they all want to pass in their first try. Or Mina does mention that. We then see Bakugo during his physical therapy to get his arm back, while we see Izuku, Kirishima, Kaminari, and Sarah all cheering him on, man. This was the funniest part of the episode, man. This shit had me dying, especially with Izuku. His enthusiasm, man, it was a little much, not gonna lie. Anyway, we then see we also see that Spinner once again finally dropped that novel in the League of Villains. We also do get to see Mr. Compress in this episode again. Yes, he finally gets his screen time after his screen time from season 7 got cut out. He doesn't speak at all, unfortunately, so Ken Williams is done, unfortunately. But hey, good to see Mr. Compress got one last character. His screen time was removed in season 7. We then get to see the Winter Izuocha Day. Yay! This was happy to see that. Wish it was longer, not gonna lie. But hey, anyway, Izuku mentioned there's only 3 days left till graduation. He said, and he asked Uraraka if she still has the same plans afterwards, which I'm assuming might be the court counseling. I'm not entirely sure. And she says, yeah, they haven't changed. And then we get to the actual graduate story for her classmate, which, by the way, they straight up recycle animation. They straight up recycle a bit of Rei Hisoka's cut from the last episode. Hisoka, if I'm pressing right? They straight up recycle her cut, the opening bit of it, man. I remember watching the episode, did they reuse her animation? I checked the last episode, yeah, they straight up reuse the same opening bit of it. I'm damn, y'all couldn't even at least change his tie or something? To make it less obvious. Oh, that was kind of fun. I was damn, this is probably the only time both just straight up reuse animation in back-to-back episodes. But anyway, he continues on doing his DJ thing. They played the song from season 4, man, from the concert, which was really good to hear that song again. As Izuku and the others finally get their diplomas, man. Which I also gotta say, this high fade look, or whatever this called, where basically all but the top of Ida's hair is shaven, looks really fucking good, man. He really rocks that high fade look. It looks really good on him, man. I fucks hard with his new haircut he's got, man. One of the few haircuts they have that actually really fucks hard with the haircut changes from a series like near the end of it where I actually because most of them are either indifferent or eventually they kind of grow on me. Like Ichigo's short hair has grown on me. Naruto's I still don't like, but Ida, man, this one I really fucks with. I actually got my Ida prefer, man. I really fucks with this. But anyway, we see the rest of the class get their diplomas, man. If you pay attention, you can actually see All Might's eyes are starting to become a bit more visible now, which I think is a nice touch. And then they do once again the same thing they did with Monema's clash, where Bakugo and Monema are with Mirio, excuse me, where they bust through the wall. Man, we also get a really sick impact frame. I didn't see it until someone posted it on Twitter. Where the animator, this was like when the animator confirmed their cut, but it's a really, really clean impact frame, and I've been really liking. One thing that I've been really loving about this last season, how they've done some like really insane impact frames for this season, man. It's some good work, man. There are some really clean impact frames in this season, man. But yeah, man, like do you guys remember this one? I believe it was in the episode with Bakugo that Yuki Sato had. It might have been another episode. It might have been Yuki. I forget if it was Yuki Sato's episode or another episode. But they also did once again these insane Bakugo, these impact frames where they actually add like colors, different colors to it, man, everything, man, and with like sound effects, everything. It was with onomatopoeias. It was so fucking cool in that episode. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my review. But anyway, the animator behind this sequence was done by Yorito Haruma, if I'm pronouncing that right. Harima was the animator behind this cut, so shout out to them. We then get another gorgeous, as Izuku's narration continues on about All Might transferring One for All to him. He got to become a hero. It was an undeserved dream come true. And then like you see the class A walking to I'm guessing the back or whatever, or wherever they're walking to, past the teachers, man. And All Might gives them a thumbs up. Both Izuku and Bakugo smile. Nice scene. He continues on saying, now it comes to an end, along with the last embers of One for All. Once again, the drawings here are incredible, man. Like the fire effect in drawings, man, are so damn good. This animator, the animator credit for this is Atsushi Mori. Once again, it looks very similar to the insane drawings we saw from a few episodes back that still remains uncredited. I'm not sure if that animator was also on that episode as well, but like very similar looking in terms of the drawing quality and the fire animation, the fire effects, man. Just an incredible sequence all around, man. That's the animator credit for this cut of Sakura, or at least presumably. This is what they do. Then the episode just gets randomly meta where Izuku knows he's an anime character. Then he says, "Then why, you ask, am I still writing this?" Because there's still runtime in the episode. Izuku is like Deadpool where he knows he's a fictional character, man. I don't know why we got it all meta all of a sudden, man, but whatever the case may be. We then, after the commercial break, we then cut over to 8 years later. Now we finally see Dai. He's in middle school, about to go into high school, man. Once again, just like in Season 1, where we see the teacher offering these career goal surveys that are due next week, and people will go on about what they want to do. One kid mentions he wants to be a hero. Another one wants to work at the same support item firm as May, which, by the way, adult May, man, she kind of bad, not gonna lie. Another kid, Fox chick, wants to work at Gel Inc., which is like the new company that I'm assuming is like done cybersecurity or something to do with programming ran by Gentle and La Brava. So that's what they're doing now, man. And then of course you got Dai, who mentions he mentions his top goal is to go to UA High and of course become a pro hero. This other kid tells like, oh man, there's the villain emergencies are on the decline, man. Only the strongest are now being picked to be heroes now, etc., 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 etc. We then see Dai as he's now walking home, I assume, mentioning how they were little, they wanted to be like All Might, Izuku, Endeavor, Best Genius, etc., etc. He also has a very high-pitched voice. Dai has a very high-pitched voice, I notice. And then he comes to the All Might statue, says that whenever he feels anxious, he always comes here. As he's walking along, we find out what's going on with some of the other characters. Like we see what Uraraka's doing with the court counts and stuff. And man, I love Uraraka's adult hero costume. It's good to see it with the official colors and everything, man. It looks amazing. Suzu's looks pretty good, man. She definitely looks a lot more frog-like than before, but I really dig the colors on it, man. We also see that Shoji got an award for his achievements and efforts for what he did during the war, so that's pretty cool. His outfit looks pretty cool as well. I especially really like the pink on Uraraka, man. It's a very bright pink. It almost kind of looks purplish, like in a way, man, but I really dig the look, man. It looks really nice, man. We see Eri, her horn is fine and dandy. It's at full strength now, so she's all good. We then get to see Aizawa show him this video that looks like it's on TikTok, maybe. I'm from the UI. I think it's TikTok, but it might just be like Instagram Instagram or something. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, he shows this video of a burning building that Baka was on the scene for, and he's just yelling at the camera, asking like, "Why are you staring? Why are you so close to me? Are you trying to die?" And Aizawa mentions, he tells him to scram, and Aizawa mentions it's gonna make him drop in the rankings again. And Izuku mentions, like, I thought you were trying to get him to watch his mouth, weren't you? He says, yeah, but it didn't work. we then see Todoroki. He's been doing well, man. He's that people that love him, and less people are mentioning that he's a son of Endeavor, which is kind of surprising and good for him, honestly, because everything's happening. But at the same time, like, he looks like Todoroki as he's gone over. His script is the spitting image of Endeavor. He looks exactly like him, bro. It's actually kind of crazy how much he looks like Endeavor now, man. It's kind of insane. We also get to see some of the new outfits for some of the other characters, like we see Mudman's new armor looks sick. We see Monoma's new costume, a couple other characters as well. And then as we continue on, Aizawa and asks Izuku if he misses it, if he misses being a hero. And we mentioned how with when Fuwa was there, he mentioned that a thought occurred to him that I'm going back to being Corvus, but if I use my experience to encourage others, that might be pretty darn cool. We also get to see these like little pictures, I'm assuming, with some of his other students, man, from his UA days. You see him one with a candy apple, one with him in front of everyone, one in front of one of his classes, man. I'm assuming this is from a previous year, because Koda isn't in this at all. And then Izuku asks, Aizawa, I wonder if I'm cool now. And then Aizawa tells him, be more strict with your students. Which also, before I forget, I might as well mention this right now, man. Let me talk about Daiki's voice real quick, because you guys may remember in the first episode, I made no mention of about adult Izuku sounding any different now, because at least when I saw the episode sub, I didn't really notice much of a change in Daiki's voice, but obviously when the dub is there, you could really hear the difference between Justin when he was voicing adult Izuku. So with this episode, I really wanted to really listen in on Daiki's performance, and like, I still don't really hear much of a difference, and it could just because I'm not a Japanese speaker, I'm an English speaker, so that's why Justin's performance sounds a bit more distinctly different from adult Izuku compared to Daiki's. Like, I hear a little bit of a difference with Daiki's performance as adult Izuku compared to how he played him before in the previous season, but not that much. It's definitely not as noticeable as Justin, at least not to my ears it is, but maybe for you guys or the Japanese fans, it might be different. But anyway, Aizawa mentions that, like, because how prestige the school is, if you appeal to that role here, man, they're almost guaranteed to become pro heroes, so you need to be strict with them so that it doesn't go to their heads. And Izuku mentions, like, but you were nice to us, but you were pretty nice to us. So yeah, and then we cut to Izuku as he's walking down, and we see some of the more advertisements going on for some of the other characters from these other members of class they're doing. Like, we see like some perfume and cologne ads for both Toru and Tokoyami, which the Toru one especially, man, looks amazing. Like, God, bro, Ojiro, that man, bro, he arguably landed the baddest bitch in Class A, man. Like, I'm just being honest, like, Toru is so fucking beautiful, man. Like, she is top 3, man. Like, she is like maybe behind Uraraka at number 2, man. There might be someone else, but from Class A, man, it's like her and Uraraka are like neck and neck, man. Like, Ojiro, man, he got that bag, bro. he hit the jackpot with Toru, man. I just gotta say. But anyway, I do wish we also got like full commercials, because I remember I saw a tweet so it's like I hope we see like full commercials for like the ads that we see the other Class A members are doing like this, but that would have been cool, but we unfortunately didn't. Also, before I forget to mention, we also got to see the ad from one of the other characters, the one that I said looked like a character out of Shaman King a couple of, which I actually didn't know this until Bryson had confirmed that was his role he played in the episode when the dub of that dropped. But he also said that was apparently one of the characters from Horikoshi's original manga that got canceled, which is pretty cool that Horikoshi got snuck in some of his old characters in here, man. Also, you pay attention to a background on what they said, you could actually see Jiro and Kaminari's agencies in the background as Izuku's walking, which I thought was a nice little touch. Anyway, Izuku walks over by the All Might statue, man. You see some kids playing. He then, and as he's like about to approach the statue, man, one of the other kids ends up tripping, and then Izuku rushes in there to catch him, which he manages to do. At the same time, Dai goes in there, but he just falls flat on his face, trying to use his quirk to save him, man. Izuku tries to help him out, and then Dai starts fanboying about Izuku. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the fanboys become the fanboy, which is pretty funny. But anyway, he talks about like, can he be a hero as well? And then of course he remembers what All Might told me. He says, you still helped out, you still went out to try and help him. Yes, you can be a hero as well. And then Izuku starts muttering to himself how he can use his quirk, because we see that he can like take like these saucer like things that we see in his hair and use them as like platforms or whatnot, man. And apparently he can combine them to make them stronger. her. Like I said, this is where I'm kind of confused with the kid we saw in the early on the episode and Dai are the same person, because like they have like completely different quirks, so I'm thinking they're two separate people, but I'm not entirely sure. Regardless of such, man, so yeah, that goes on for a bit before Izuku finally puts his hand on his shoulder and says, you can do it, young man, as well. The art direction here in Kapase here, man, is phenomenal. I must say, like, the art, this gorgeous sunset, man, with the cherry blossom in front, the statues, man, just a gorgeous shot, man, seriously, this looks incredible. And then we see Izuku walk into UA, where he says, this is a story of how we all became the greatest heroes, as it says, My Hero Academia, the end. Psych! All Might comes in there, grabs that bitch, he's like, nah, bitch, we still got 5 more episodes left, man. And this is, of course, when Izuku finally gets his armor. We finally get to see the armor here, man. Incredible character acting from Izuku as he's crying, which I forget this actually has a anime. Yeah. We have Haruka Ida credit on this cup, man. There's an animator unknown credit as well, so I'm not entirely sure where. Haruka, there's no comment mentioning on what she is, so I'm assuming it might be just like they think 2 animators might work on this, or they're just putting it in there because they don't know for certain if Haruka animated the entire series, but apparently Haruka worked on this sequence, man, so shout out to her, man. Great character acting on Izuku as he's crying, man. Seriously, just phenomenal work, man. Just phenomenal work. I also love the startup sound on the suit when it starts to like boot up and starts to transform around Izuku's arm, man. But yeah, this was an incredible scene, man. We know obviously that Mei Hatsume had worked on this alongside with Melissa, and of course, you know, Class A had pitched in to like get this to make the suit made. Bakugo was obviously a big one. Uraraka, I think, was also another main contributor to the suit as well. Which, Jesus Christ, Bakudekas would always try to spin this, man. But yeah, Izuku got like the gloves on his arm, and it's obviously, of course, CGI. Once again, the CGI is great here, man. We then cut over to Hawks, where he mentions where he says that maybe things aren't so busy after tomorrow, as he calls in, a hero requesting at like this land site on like War Star Road, and then we see my boy, and that's like for like hero dispatch required or whatever. Then we see my boy Izuku pull up in a fucking Lambo as he like comes out there with his briefcase, man, bro. It's so fucking sick, man. Now I have like a lot of people thought this was Izuku's car, and he's straight up driving a Lambo. Like even in cars, he's got a one-up Bakugo, man. Izuku's casually one-up Bakugo. If you guys don't know, in 431 we see Bakugo has his own car, and a lot of people said that was a Porsche. I know nothing about cars, but everyone was saying it was a Porsche, so I'm just gonna assume it was a Porsche while Izuku comes out in a Lambo. But Mochi had pointed this out when I was talking to her earlier. Mentioned that like if you pay attention, you can actually tell that it looks like Izuku's coming out of the passenger seat, so I don't think he's actually driving. This is still All Might's car, and he was just driving him there, man. Either way, man, epic entrance nonetheless, man, to come out in a fucking Lambo. Anyway, Bakugo extends his hands out saying, come on, Deku. We see the rest of Class A there, man. Oh, Ojiro looking good, man. Like, I'm looking at some of the background shots here, man. And Ojiro's new suit looking sick, man. He looking fly. Then we get the big epic final shot. I was hoping we get like a full mech transformation here, but we don't. It literally just Izuku walks us past by a tree, and then the suit is transformed. Hopefully, maybe when 431 gets adapted, we can see Nakamura doing a full suit transformation to end it off, because that's how 431 ends with Izuku and the rest of the gang rushing out and trying in the suits like transforming on Izuku. So like, hopefully maybe we can get Nakamura to do a full like mech transformation for that, man. That'd be sick for a 431, but we'll have to wait and see on that, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, man, that was pretty hyped to see. But yeah, this is obviously one major callback back to season 1 to the OP, where the Class A we're all flying through the air, man. But yeah, great sequence, man. We see Shigaraki one last time as Izuku is flying through. This whole sequence was done by Umakoshi himself. Okay, actually, my bad. I'm looking at the poster talking about, but it looks like we have Umakoshi credit, who was also the AD for this. Chuchu was also worked on this, and Nobuaki Nagano was the editor. With Nagano, the credits, or at least the comments mentioned here and there, that Umakoshi handled the bid with Izuku and Shigaraki. Nagano took over the last bid, where we see the back shot of the crew as they're flying forward. With the opening bid with Todoroki was done by Chuchu. That's the credits that we have here on the episode. But yeah, cool stuff. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the episode properly ends, and then we get some last minute extra details on what class he's doing. We see that Toru and Aoyama have been working together a lot. We see that Toru, we see Kirishima's very popular, man. They call him a man's man, which when I hear that, I just think of William Regal's old WWF theme back. I think this is when he first started off in the company, but doing this whole like wood chipper manly man gimmick, and his theme song, it's so stupid, it's such a banger. He's a man, such a man, such a man. It's a banger theme. Go watch it, man. It's a real man's man. I think it's what it's called, man. Listen to it. It's a banger theme song. But we also see that Mina's doing great, man. She's also always entering major dance competitions, so she's doing her thing, man. We see mentioned Uraraka and Sue are working on with the court counseling thing, etc., 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 etc. We also see that Tensei is also back on his feet, man. He got like these like leg braces on to help him walk again, so he's working with Tenya's on that, man. So that's pretty fucking cool. Sero and Mineta are working together, man. But yeah, these are some fun little added details, man. Also, if you pay attention to the back, you can also see on Izuku when they show him like teaching, you see pink chalk on the board. Anyway, we also get to see this one final shot that I think 430 had ended off with Izuku's armor that was adapted straight from it, man. Looks amazing. And it's nice that we finally have the official colors for this, man, because people have been like different colors from fan arts on like what the suit actually looks like and everything. So it's nice that we have the official colors for what's that. Although I think they actually showed the armor in the new data book that released like last year, earlier this year. That I think also showed off the official colors of it, man. But it's good that we finally have it in anime in a more clear fashion. But yeah, man. Phenomenal episode, man. Like I said, no confirmation or anything for 431. Like I said, probably we'll get that at Jump Festa when they confirm that 431 is an OVA, or maybe it's a movie. That'd be insane if it was a movie. But I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a separate OVA. Maybe going to have a short theatrical release, maybe then drop on streaming later. We'll have to wait and see on that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, also guys, I don't know if I mentioned this on the review, so I'm about to mention it now before I forget. Nakamura was once again credited for second key image for this episode. Though unfortunately, we have no idea where he is. At least from as far as I've seen, I haven't seen any tweets or any of the posts on Sakagaburo have mentioned people theorizing that Nakamura had worked on any of these, man. So it's MIA where Nakamura was placed in this episode. Anyway, guys, man, like I said, this is an incredible series, man. This has been one hell of a journey, man. Reviewing this series, man, for as long as I have, man. And yeah, thank you, Koei Horikoshi, man. You are the GOAT. Thank you for creating this wonderful manga. I will be there for your next work, man. And yeah, now we just wait for 431. Now we just wait for 431. But hey, I got Mochi's more review fanfic to read, man. She just dropped the next two chapters, man. The wedding chapter and of course the follow-up chapter to the wedding when we saw their honeymoon phase, if you know what I'm saying, which has been a banger. If you guys have not been reading more of you, go read it. It's an incredible fanfic, especially if you like your hentai, you like your porn with your fanfic, you like your smut. She's your girl, bro. Her shit's amazing, man. Seriously, go follow her on Twitter, read her shit, man. Just read it, share it, do all that sweet, do all that jazz, man. Anyway. Overall, I give this episode a 10 out of fucking 10, to the surprise of nobody. And yeah, man, it's been a hell of a journey, man. I look forward to 431. If we get a sequel series, hey, that's amazing. But anyway, guys, hope you guys the video you like. If you did, subscribe if you do. Follow me, so see if you like it. Links are across below. And as always, back for more. See you guys next time.